Hey guys, so I've been tasked with doing a quick tutorial for you on how to pick up stitches. So I'm going to do that really quick and hopefully you'll find it helpful. This is specific to the slouchy pullover sweater pattern that we are currently in December of 2017 doing as a knit along. All right, so this pattern has you pick up stitches for the armhole, and what we have is one end marked right here. I have my center arm shoulder seam, and then on the other side I have another stitch marker that is marking where the other side is, so I know the number of stitches that I need to pick up. And what I need to do is do half between this first marker and the shoulder seam here, and the other half between the shoulder seam and the next marker. So when you go to pick up stitches along the edge, sorry, I'm trying to look at the screen and look at my knitting, so there, I think that's probably the best spot. This particular pattern tells you to use a smaller needle size to pick up those stitches and do the first row of pickups with. What that does is create a little bit tighter of fabric where the yarn joins. So I've got my yarn that I'm joining here at the shoulder seam, and I'm going to take this is my first marker. And what you want to do is put the needle through. You can see there's almost looks like two stitches, right? So it's the whole complete first stitch. So I am going to make sure I have this in the right hand. You can still see it. So I have, with that, picked up one stitch. So this pattern calls for you to pick up 2 stitches per every 3 rows. So you can see this is the section that I'm looking at right here. So there's 2 stitches, there's the third one, so I'm going to skip that one and go to the next one. And to pick up 2 and skip 1. Pick up 2, skip 1, pick up 2. So I'm literally just putting my needle through those stitches, wrapping this yarn around like I would for a regular stitch, and then pulling it through. So I'm going to keep doing that until I have the correct number of stitches on for each side. All right, so I just wanted to stop and show you all. I have picked up half of the stitches along that edge. So I'm up at the shoulder seam now, and you can see that there. You can see where I've skipped rows here or there. But the big thing is when I do my first return row to check to make sure there's not big gaping holes, which I'm not expecting that there will be. So, and then I'm just going to continue picking up, making sure I'm not using this yarn here, which is an end that needs to get woven in, as I continue along from the shoulder seam to the other marker. So again, I'm picking up 2 stitches for every 3 rows. So there's 1, 2, I'm going to skip a row, do the next 2, you might find it easier to do this technique with your knitting on a table or somewhere where it's laid out flat. You can do it in your lap, it's totally fine, but is sometimes easier to have more working surface. So I'm going to skip a row, and so you want to make sure that you're not just picking up one strand. Picking up the one strand is what gives the big holes along these edges. You want to make sure you're catching both of those, and that will give you a nice, neat edge to your knitting. All right, so I'm almost back down to the marker. There's my other marker. And there we go. And so then on the return row, I will be changing to the larger needles. I could probably just do that so you can see. So the next row is going to be a purl row, and I am now putting it back onto the needles that the pattern calls for. And again, using the smaller needles helps get a really close, tighter stitch next to the join, so you don't have looser stitches there. All right, so I'm going to finish that, and then I will show you the finished product. Okay, so all the stitches have been picked up, and I have done the first row. As you can see, they snug right in to the piece, and I'm not getting any gaps or holes. This is picking up for the armholes, or the sleeves, and so that's just a quick little tutorial on picking up stitches.